Hey Waldwick, Rhett's here. And now we're going to be doing the second Inventor tutorial. So at this point, we've worked with extrude and sketching and the dimension tools, but the textbook starts talking about join, intersect, cut, other things that you can do. Now, on my screen, you'll notice I've got two extruded objects. Now, this, let's see, why is this not giving me the whole window? Okay, so when you extrude, you have some options. Join, cut, intersect. So join is going to be the combination of both objects. Let me do that now. So in the end, it joins up looking like one object. If I undo that, extrude, I'm going to pick the circle again. Now I'm going to go to cut. And it's going to use the shape that I just sketched to cut the other objects in Inventor. Now, let's move to the third one, intersect. Boom. Now here, it's only showing me the material where these two objects would collide, where they overlap each other. So this is another way that you can use the extrude tool. New solid. I don't know what that is. Don't use it. Don't know what it is, unless I tell you otherwise. So that's the introductory piece. It's the different ways that you can use extrude. Let's get into the build. We do this by clicking the application menu. We go new, new, and here I'm going to choose a standard part in millimeters. Say OK, and now I'm ready to continue. Now, they tell you to change the grid interval. This is the snap grid for the object. So you go to Tools, you go to Document Settings, and here you go to Sketch, and you could say the snap spacing. Here they recommend set your snap to 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters. Oh, not millimeters. Grid display, minor lines, they say 5. Cool. So that's how you can change your display and the snap settings. So first thing we're going to do for this object is start a sketch, and for this one we are making a rectangle on the XY plane. Okay, so we just start off, we're going to make a rectangle, say OK, then we're going to edit dimensions, and we're going to make the dimensions into, let's see, the width should be 50, and the height should be 9. Now the next bit that they go into are different tools that you can use that are built into Autodesk Inventor. So you go to your Tools tab, and you're going to have a few different things here. Distance. I can choose, look at this, diagonals. I can choose the horizontal, and it gives me a readout. Let's go back to this diagonal here. So it tells me the positions, tells me the change in X, tells me the change in Y, that's delta. So here it's telling me it's 50 wide and 9 tall. Great. Let's look at some of the other things that we have here. Area. I click the area tool. I select my object. It tells me the area. 9 times 50 is 450 millimeters squared. After we have that, what else we got? Loop. It's going to tell me the circumference. 50 plus 50 is 100. 9 plus 9 is 18. 100 plus 18, 118 millimeters. Okay, so there we go. We got that. And the angle, it'll tell us what the angle is. Pretty straightforward, but I wanted to make sure that that was shown to you. There's also a setting for region properties. So for mine, it's a drop-down arrow. And you select a region, dual units. No, I just want one unit. Calculate. Oh, look at that. Gives me everything that I could possibly want. So that exists. You should know about it. Now that we've created the side view of our rectangle, you can extrude it. Okay, and for this particular one, we are going to extrude 15. That seems wrong. Don't use 15. I've been bamboozled. They went and changed everything on me. So instead, we are going to edit our dimensions. I'm going to double click the 50. I'm going to change that to 75. I'm going to double click the 9. And I'm going to change that to 19, 50, 50. So now that's the object. Now that I've changed that, I'm going to extrude it. 15. That looks a little more right. Correct. So now that we've extruded at 15, now what we're going to need to do is create a circle on the rightmost edge of this. So I start my sketch, and now I'm going to use my circle tool. Now, there's a wonderful feature of Inventor, and when you hover on a line, it'll generally give you that midpoint with that beautiful green dot. It's difficult to see because my cursor is right there. Click the center, and then what you're going to do is click the end, and now you have your circle that you need. So now that we've created the circle on the edge of it, we're going to use a view cube. Let's see. We check it out, and yeah, I did mine. Mine's all funky. That's okay. I can change it in the end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this circle towards the rectangle 40 millimeters. Change the direction, and now I want to use join, and that's going to make that happy. Now, we are going to extrude a circle through the top of this cylinder, and the dimensions for this are going to be, let's see, 30 millimeters. And I happen to pick the central point, but if you didn't, it's a beautiful tool. It's beautiful. You're going to love it. Constrain. I'm going to select the larger circle, the inner circle, and now they are locked into the same center point. Say OK, finish your sketch, bada boom, bada bing. You choose the object you just selected, and you're going to change the extrusion direction. And let's see, you can change, you could do, let's see, oh, there it is. You could change it to next, to, all, and it'll basically, I mean, it's the same thing as measuring the distance and using the height, but it's just other options that are available to make that whole. Now, this is a sketched feature. Features include extrude, revolve, which we haven't gotten into, all these create tools, and then you have, what is it, non-drawn, what do you call that? Placed features, where you just kind of drop it. So hole is going to be a placed feature, and this is something that can do pretty much the same thing as extruding a shape, but it's got a whole bunch of different options. Concentric on point. So concentric, I can choose that it would share the same center. Here's my first thing I'm going to pick is my plane. Concentric circle. Boom. So that's right there. And this is a little preview. This donut, this golden donut, is a preview of what the hole is going to look like. If I put 40 millimeters in, you'll see that it would create a hole. And I can say create it through all of it. If I wanted to give it like a tapered end there, as if it were made for a screw, if I wanted to countersink it, so it had like a little notch that goes down for the head of the screw. That's something I could do. You could do it a little bit further. Different options there. That exists. You should know that. If I press 30, should match up the hole that we had. Let's see. Pick the adjacent edge. Okay, this is all fun. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a hole on here. And I'm going to use the hole tool to do that. So I click hole. I'm going to choose the face. And now I'm going to set my hole diameter to, let's see, what is it, 40? 20. 20 is the diameter. But I'm not ready to go yet because I need to set where it goes. So I'm going to pick the further edge, the flat edge opposite of the cylinder, and what I'm going to do is reference this edge. When I reference that edge, I just click reference, I click it, and now I'm defining how far it should be. It should be 30. Great. Reference 2. I pick a different edge. This one looks good. And now I'm going to set it to 25. Here, it's centered. And you could do 25 on the other one too, but basically I'm telling it where it should be in reference to the object, and that's the hole, of course. So once I set that, I make sure it goes through all of it. I say OK. I say hip hip hooray. Bon voyage. And there's only one last piece to do, and that is we are going to draw out a rectangle, which is going to complete this, and you'll see how that does it. But for now, I'm just going to rotate. I'm going to start a sketch here, and now I draw a rectangle. So it's going to be, and you watch how I do this too. You just endpoint, I'm going to draw straight down, 90 degrees, 15. Now that I've done that, I'm going to give myself a little line for reference. Here, I'm going to go straight down, I'm going to go 20, and then same thing for reference. Snap to it. Okay, now that I've created my object, I may need to close this off, or you could use a rectangle tool. I finish my sketch, I extrude, and now I'm going to extrude this in. Now, this does not make me a happy boy. I don't like it. Instead, I can say, not all, to next. And that's going to have that extrude until the next gap. As you can see, clearly right here. I say, okay, boom, beautiful. I love it. I ain't never seen anything so beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is fix my object, because I have a terrible knack for setting it up the wrong way. So let me, I right click here, I say use current view as, okay, so now I right click, set current view as front. That's not right. And now I'm going to set this view as, that is the top. So what I'm going, sometimes okay, I set this view as top, and now I'm going to go here. No, I'm not. Riveting. Here we go. So now I'm going to set this view as home, and I'm going to do fixed distance. Now I'm done. I've created my object using the different tools. We've learned about the hole tool, and you are all set to design, build, and extrude holes throughout your objects. Excellent job. Keep it up.